series followed by Dust 2, and if we need it, Vertigo's waiting as our finale. But this is it, folks. This is the Funspark Ulti 2021 finals, the culmination of a year of online cups. Gambit v Entropiq, let's take it away.
Yeah, T-side start for Gambit and a bit of a lean in towards this A site from the get-go. Gonna be lining up these smokes to block off stairs and jungle and then just bouncing in on the back of it. It's a good opener for Grande and a nice read for Entropiq. They've got everyone on the right side of the map. They really have put themselves in position to succeed. They're a man up now. And not for long, because Axile's swung out and finds himself a 3-on-3. Bomb still trapped here. And oh dear, damage done.
What?
Kills coming through, and it is Entropiq getting that one over the line. Lackey and Grande have themselves a hell of a time. And so the pistol is found for Entropiq.
All right, Lackey, you know, we call him the late game player, Harry, but as far as Lackey concerned, that last BO3 never ended. He's still in it. He's still here, warmed up, ready to go. And a little three-piece to take us right in for Entropiq. Gambit, don't hesitate for a second. It's an instant force. Shiro saves for the AWP, but otherwise it's that big buy. It's those pistols, that armor, and a couple of little nades to get them into A. Just enough smokes to cut off that mid-aggression that Entropiq are going for in the early round. 3 players fighting for middle. It's going to leave just Grande and his A1S back in CT. Gambit throw those 2 smokes over. Flash to follow, and Grande doesn't want to go down instantly. Dinks both players. He just gets them from such a range. His team go flashing through, but they get stuck on the bench and they bail.
They heard the tag. Forrester wanted to get away with even more than that. They know they've bought this player low, and so they are going to be there to capitalize upon it. Bomb is down and out in the open, even though Nafany is on this big old B lurk. It should never amount to too much. Not like you have a chance to go back with the bomb. You need to win these fights. And, well, that's one from Forrester given over. Goes up into Palace to try and check it. Remember Nafany. Right, still on this market flank. They've even managed to get the bomb. Shiro, this is dangerous now. Right, it might not seem like much, might not look like they've got a lot to work with, but with Nafany securing a path to B, as they try to rotate in, they're more than aware that they might be going into an already lost site. Axile going to attempt to just run by with the bomb. Shiro will hold for under, and his Deagle is in with a second. Oh dear, this is starting to get wild. Bomb now going down, just enough time left for it. 10 seconds as that plant comes in.
Oh,
Gambit,
no.
They're not meant to win this one. They're all low. Oh, with the exception of Shiro. He's been the standout player here. Being someone who's been synonymous with clutches for Gambit throughout this event. In line to be the next MVP of this one. And a 1v2 back of the site. Time working against Entropiq. Oh! Shiro plays him like a fiddle, but Lackey will trade it out. And Entropiq, they barely, just barely get that back under control.
Oh, it's terrifying. Shiro tried his hardest, but that one missed shot, still going to get the kill onto the site player, but Lackey just there in time to save the day. It's not only the pistol round for him with 3, but it's the closer to stop the 4 frags off of Shiro's Deagle. It is terrifying. And well, if there were ever a reason to double force, it would be that. 4 kills, a bomb plant, and Shiro not missing a beat. Gambit buy right back in, rifles out. If anything, they're buy pretty much the same as Entropiq's. AKs and Galils. Windows smoke mollied out, and well, that's a fine pick for Axel. He welcomes Elian into middle and kicks him out of the round like that. Behind him, behind the ramp smoke is Nafany. Entropiq love to dive through this smoke on their T-sides alone. Shiro's even found another pick in middle, taking down Nickelback in connector. Nafany waits behind the ramp smoke as his team group back up and leave Hobbit on the lurk. He can late con drop and try and flank Entropiq. They realize middle has been left, but do they know whether it's empty or not? Crowd trying to get stuck back in the bomb site, moving into triple. He is seen, and Nafany takes a headshot with a Galil. Lack of head armor proving to be a problem with these rebuys from Entropiq. That's exactly why Gambit went back in, and Forrester, he might have been spotted there by the Palace players. Barrel sticking out. Going to try and stop these players crossing, but they're going to swing him together. Shiro kills him before they even can. And Lackey in a 1v4. He's dropped the bomb in the middle of the open. Axel went for the fight, and Shiro won't double down. It's going to be Hobbit coming from Connector and swinging all together. 3 players ready to go. And Hobbit just cuts off his move as the bomb is secured. It looked shaky for a second as Gambit get keen to kill, but they don't let that round get out of control.
Yeah, game face is on now. Entropiq having to just bite the bullet, come in with this little, force buy round. Oh, but they're not going to get off to the same kind of streaks that Gambit have when they've been the ones forcing down. Already Alien removed.
I love that peek from Hobbit because the window smoke was coming in, and Alien sees it coming in, and Hobbit peeks right as it pops. Maybe Alien mentally has his guard a little bit let down, knowing that the cover is about to appear, and in his head, he's setting up for a timing shot in the smoke. Instead, Hobbit, in back-to-back rounds, Gambit have just bopped Alien out of the window. 0-4 right now. The perfect guy to shut out early and keep quiet. But that won't stop the rest of Entropiq from getting involved.
Oh, Winters gonna spot the ramp aggro. That's a decent bit of info to work with as well. You know that if they've taken ramp away, probably didn't go for that big old push all alone, and so they just up and leave while the B entries have come in. Axel even hoping he can deal. Oh, that's his head spotted.
Gambit know it's over. They know it's a save. They just want to get the kills on the way out. Keep that next round oh so low. But at the same time, not risking their own rifles. They'll hold on to the post plant and level things out 2-2. Definitely echoing the sentiment of the desk that we need Entropiq to win this map in order to have a series on our hands. Otherwise, Gambit might just lock in a first place here at Funspark without too much trouble. The upper bracket run for Entropiq, day 2, knocked down to the lower bracket by Gambit, and have fought their way through valiantly against so many top teams. So many top teams, like some of the more threatening teams in this tournament. Obviously, being Astralis, who maybe we had higher hopes of. Ecstatic, who proved to be, the grinders and the most surprising entry of this event in how well they played. And even Big, who was the other team we expected to see in the grand final today and almost made it, but not quite.
I mean, something that is scarier is that as the event's gone on, Gambit's wins have actually gotten more and more concise. It was a slow start. Copping an L to Complexity, who then went on to be, eliminated immediately from the tournament. And when I say an L, I only mean in one map. They still won the series, obviously. But, then they full one map to Entropiq, then they 2-0 Big. The game's getting more and more lopsided as the event went on. This is very much a squad that has warmed into things now. Not the same as on day 1, where maybe you could have caught them sleeping at times. And, this round should just sail on by. Should never really get too exciting. Gambit know that. They like the not exciting rounds. They want 5 alive. They want a slaughter in ones like this and a chance to just build up their own money. And so that's what they're going to give us.
This is so grimy, even in the 5-on-1. They just, like you said, they want everyone up and they're just not going to move. They wait for this kill to be given up or the info to come their way. Even Hobbit in T-spawn with a bomb just waits. His team's going to find it out for him and maybe even close it. Nickelback wants to play the clock, knowing what Gambit are like. Nafany walking in and making a lot of noise. It could be 1 kill here, but that's not even a rifle. Nafany was fine dying for the round, for the info. So his team is set up to close, and so they shall. Hobbit, of course, gets that kill with 3 in the round, and 3 rounds for Gambit. Now Entropiq coming in with the big buy. But no AWP yet for Alien, who is still silent.
got the immediate window and top mid smoke, so Nafany's looking to get through connector. That window smoke's a little deep, and he's got to learn that the hard way.
I think Hellion mollied it again.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Keeping it out of position, and then going and securing Inters over in Palace. Now, Hobbit's done what he can, but should be dead to Crad. Oh, God!
Chill.
Hobbit, leave him alone!
He's looking pretty gnarly right now, and that bomb's leaving Harry. They know they've drawn Entropiq out of the right bomb site. B is free, as the old saying goes. Axel's cleaned it out. And obviously Shearer's a little cautious that there could be a big flank. They lost middle early in the round with Nafany getting picked. And so he's very careful about clearing the spawn, giving the bomb to Hobbit and sending him first on low health. Shearer ready to trade if things do go bad. And well, the penny drops for Entropiq, even though they have a good enough amount of time to rotate back out. Axel's been holding down the fort for a while.
Oh, dude. I mean,
Could have finished that, maybe.
He's going to get out. He's going to get out. It's fine for Alien. Just go save. But Gambit, man, watching them at this event has really been a pleasure.
Yeah.
You know, they're a team that we've spoke a lot about both here on the casts, but even in our downtime, you know, me, you, and Maui having conversations about Gambit. I mean, just last night, you know, we were talking about how they're on like a micro level, you know, the decision making that goes into how they play every scenario like this one, like a 3-on-2, a round that should be fine, should be locked in, but definitely can get out of hand. Every little detail you can think of was accounted for. Shiro dropped the bomb to Hobbit, right, on lower HP, and then sends Hobbit across first to go and plant in the B site. If a player was playing timing in lower, Shiro was on the angle. We saw something similar just the other day in that matchup versus Big on Ancient, where they get top red control, they run past the smoke, knowing that was going to bait a smoke push out of Tabson, and then dealing with it. Their ability to, like, foresee responses from the opponent and tie that into, like, their gameplay and how they approach rounds is so impressive. It's done on a level that looks almost innate, and yet there's a tremendous amount of cooperation to go into those tiny little moments like that.
And I'm sure a lot of them aren't even communicated, right? A lot of them are just probably natural, because not only are these guys extremely talented, but they've got a lot of game time together. These guys have grinded for years, and well, the results speak for themselves. Now, B is, once again, empty. No one even here, and it's not like Gambit had to sell much to get them into this position. Ellion's trying to tap his way back in, but smoke did miss for Gambit, a rare bit of utility going the wrong way, but it won't make a damn difference in this one. Entropiq can throw, especially the pistols, back into the bomb site, knowing they will have a buy next round, and that's only going to tempt you further. Lackey with a pick from Market, moving out, trying to stop that bomb. Oh my goodness! If only he hit that shot, but on the plant, Hobbit shakes around and moves his model. Nickelback does get through the gap, but he's been spotted, and Nafany's called that he's back at the site, and so Shiro will find the bullet to his face, and these two guns already look to save yet again. Crad the bodyguard. But Gambit want nothing to do with it. They just bound out. Starting to max their cash already on the T-half. Crowd looking for a gun. But the only weapons dropped up on short side, and even now Gambit wait for a late peek that won't be happening. 5-2. And already a very good showing from Gambit on this T side. Have yet to see an AWP for Alien. This can be the round if he throws over the AK. I hope to see it. Shiro's got his as well. Instantly invested in the first non-flawless round. Entropiq want to take a breather first, try and figure out how they solve the Gambit T-half.
Yeah, and it's always stressful, you know, they have to try and do in 30 seconds what teams have been attempting to put together over weeks of hardcore, like, demo review and practice. So, yeah, you know, it's going to be tricky. Absolutely no denying that, but I'm not going to put it past Entropiq to come up with answers.
Yeah.
I mean, what you do have here is a team that have been used to fighting from the back foot throughout this entire thing. You know, frequently having a series look like it's going to go against them and then somehow finding it within themselves to pull it back. So I don't think you can question the resilience of this squad, but it is going to take them putting up around sooner rather than later to give us some hope in this first half. If this ends up being one of these games where, you know, you're investing, you lose a round, oh, back down to pistols, you lose that one, you invest again. Like, Gambit can play that game all damn day, and they'll come out looking a damn sight better from it. So you need a round, and you need it soon. What have they cooked up? It's a bit of mid-aggression this time around. Hobbit out in top middle, spamming that smoke, but they're moving through it. Lackey gets all the way out in a top mid. Nafany will trade it, and even looks to pick up this man in ladder. He seems so aware. Nickelback gets mollied out. Gonna have to smoke that one off, and there's the nade to follow up. Nafany, hook, line, and sinker. Uses every single trick in the book to turn this into a Gambit 4-on-3.
Could not have been a better placed nade. A 48 health Nickelback destroyed by utility. And Harry, what a read! Entropiq, they go, all right, boys, let's stack up on the B-bomb site. They've already got 2 picks towards Catwalk. Surely Axel's tempted in, and he is. He gets a 3rd kill. This is only selling the fake. This is only getting in the heads of Entropiq. And Gambit waltz into the A site. I think the penny's starting to drop here for Entropiq. Gambit, the mega minds of the T side, and Entropiq smoked off is only going to make them commit. Both AWPs now in the bomb site. And Gambit just walks silent out A. They have found the gap every one of these rounds. And even now, methodical. Double mollies in, making sure they can't get swung nor cleared from anywhere. And the plant coming in for Gambit. Going to force a double save. Axel's no longer lurking around the B apartments, but Entropiq don't know that. They have to be very cautious in how they approach saving these 2 AWPs, both of which have been fully avoided in this round. Gambit don't know there's a double AWP, but Gambit don't care.
Yeah, the save here is a pretty big one for Entropiq. It lets them keep these investments rolling in. Right, not going to be relegated to pistols after this one. That dreaded situation that we spoke about earlier on should have been avoided here. But is that going to make a huge deal of difference? They get to have another investment, another go at it. And it wouldn't surprise me, really, if maybe we saw another pause come out sooner rather than later.
Hey,
oh, there it is.
Yeah. I mean, Hooch has definitely had great impact on this team. I don't think anyone can doubt that, right? Like, the fact that the one map that we know Hooch, wasn't in the Gambit team speak for that ecstatic game, and they dropped the ball in the first... Oh, sorry, was it the Astralis game, actually? Yeah, it was. It was on Ancient. They dropped the ball there. There were no pauses. There weren't any of those typical problem-solving rounds out of Entropiq, and they got beat by Astralis on one of their better maps. In fact, probably their best map, other than Mirage. And we were a little worried for them there. Hooch came back. They reverse-swept the series. They looked like the typical Entropiq. And, on top of that, in all of these comeback games that we've been talking about for this roster, you go down very heavy. The other team gets overconfident, expecting to close now, and Entropiq call out these pauses, and they always seem to have something new. You give them a couple of rounds, give them a couple of reasons to believe, and then they just don't stop burning. Shiro looking for a ramp pick, but he will die to Ellie, and that's good. That's a start that we needed for Entropiq if they're going along this series. Smoke does not put out all of the Molotov. And so Elian can't go back into Con until it's faded. Him and Nickelback set up, but so did Gambit, ready for the A attack. Oh, careful.
Oh, look at Lackey.
Hello.
This is the kind of stuff this guy's known for, right? He always is looking for more information, more to go off of. And he helps his team out of a lot of rough spots on the back of the info plays he makes. Now in this round, Nafany holding for it, but it looks like he's
maybe looking at one of his teammates or
deep in the old, deep in the old, thought palace on that peak.
He was not on his crosshair. That much is clear. Very awkward. Nafany, vocal, probably looking at his teammates' screens, right, in the same room as him, trying to figure out who's where, who's throwing what for this A execute. He was lined up for a stairs smoke, but not going to get a chance to throw it now. This round slipping through for Gambit, and they know they've been locked in, right? Nafany had the bomb, so that's info gained by Lackey on the flank as he gets the kill. And so Entropiq with 20 seconds, they are expecting to save. Lackey wants to hunt this. Inters won't allow it to happen. And unless Entropiq start to overface with 15 seconds, this is going to be their third round. And it is very important they don't face in this position. With a flash, they'll go in. And Hobbit, he wants to take the guns. He knows it means more to them than it does to him. He has nearly max cash. And so if Entropiq give him the weapons, then they're going to be in big trouble later on. Forrester almost doesn't check it, but he will. Hobbit got his loss bonus, not that it made much difference with this much money. And Entropiq get on the board with guns. That's good stuff. Elian spearheading that one with the AWP, and Lackey a very aggressive move, and maybe mood as well, as Entropiq would love to be that team to knock Gambit out in a series that they have no business winning.
Yeah, I think Lackey's a very interesting player. I'll explain why in just a moment. But hang on, because Axel runs them down through middle, and now a little bit of control taken, a little bit of ownership taken in middle. Response is in over in the apartments. Crad going blow for blow with Naf, and he does win that out with this one component of the double AWP setup. Gonna try and peek back in. Shiro holding the tiniest of pixel gaps. Hobbit dead in top middle. Walked upon by Lackey. And now this little AWP fight, well, it's never gonna come through.
Axel really wants to trade Lackey's kill in mid, but he's nowhere to be seen. I like that escape. Entropiq while they hunted in the 5-on-4. Uncharacteristic push through T-spawn. In a 4-on-3 like this, they know that time is going to be Gambit's biggest problem. Get their pieces in the right place. And so Lackey has completely changed position. He's made noise though. Inters needs to hit this headshot immediately, and so he shall. Bomb has been seen, but Crad, his eyes on the prize, and Axel comes up catwalk. Surprise. 3-on-2. This round has flipped on its head. If Lackey tapered on that B push, maybe there would have been a way in. All it would have taken is killing Inters to win this round, as Gambit were not playing with the bomb. But now they've won it out just from those kills alone. And Lackey, ultimately, started strong, did not finish that way. But what do you have to say, Harry?
Oh yeah, I was going to say, Lackey is probably, I'm going to say probably my favorite player on this Entropiq squad,
I can see
man.
that.
He might not be someone that you look at to put up wild numbers all the time, right? I think for that you would more look towards like a Forrester or an Elian. But what you have to say about Lackey is it's like when the going gets tough for this guy, he'll always pull something out of the bag. And even more so than that, he's really, really good at just like responding correctly to certain situations. Like this round was actually a pretty good example of this. Crad, goes blow for blow with a player over in the apartments after losing the admittedly there, like Lackey does just kind of walk to his demise. But before that, earlier in the round, when he'd walked on Hobbit in top middle, right? Just like a really good idea of where he can get away with aggression, what kind of pushes he can make. He's also just someone who it seems very dependable to have him show up if someone needs to. Like, don't get me wrong, we've had some moments like that out of Elian, that overpass game the other day. Lackey seems to do it with some sort of consistency. Even in this game now, very much one of the defining characters to look at.
Oh my god, Shiro ran through that molly from full health to kill the AWP down lower. Instead it escapes, just runs away through the smokes. Shiro takes 96 damage, and Elian almost finishes the bomb and spawn. Inters has to drop it and peek closer. But this is a round that you couldn't even be surprised if Gambit saving, and we're only 30 seconds in.
And that's not very typical of this Gambit squad, that we'd ever be in a spot like this. How on earth do you want to try and find a way out of it? Shiro and Inter's walking into the apartments, and I tell you what, if they could manage a kill, like, there might actually be a route into this one.
I mean, look at the setup right now.
Heavy in middle, right? Playing that little crossfire between Nickelback holding lower tunnels and Hellion holding top mid.
Nice spot change for Crad, though. He can just tuck in. He knows Gambit have to make noise to do anything on this A site. That's if anything is ever going to happen.
Yeah, it is actually just the save in Palace.
Maybe the fear from Gambit comes that Entropiq are going to get aggressive in a round like this. They've consistently proven to be pushing and trying to disrupt Gambit in man advantage situations. They've done it a couple of times already, so it wouldn't be shocking. Sometimes you got to play with a bit of disrespect. And that's something that CASA talked about on the desk right in the sense of Entropiq, they know how to beat this team. They've done it before. You know, harder in series, sure. Those BO5s, those BO3s, very difficult, especially when it comes down to the map pool. But they've taken maps off this team. They took them the distance to the BO5. How many rosters can say that? They beat them in a BO1 at the major. There are lots of important matches where Entropiq have managed to do what other top teams haven't to this roster. So sometimes you just need a little bit of disrespect, the right amount. 7-4, Gambit save. Luckily, all that early money getting built up from their 6-round streak. But can they put any more together? Oh.
Oh, mate, it looked like the timing was going to get the better of them there, but Hobbit just a little faster, just a little more aware, just a lot more. Just a little cooler, perhaps.
Good nade.
Not good enough to find a guy like Hobbit. They will mop up Inters, but chasing him down, he's still alive, and even dodging the spam. How on earth has he overstayed his welcome this much? Finally, a stray bullet from Nickelback gonna do the trick. Woo! That was almost a lineup. Oh, Shiro!
2 will do.
And mate, now with the Palace wrap coming in, Shiro might not even have to do anymore because Nafany's arrived, and on triple, it's only Elian left. Shiro's drawing the attention in. The molly forces him out into the open.
How do they know?
And that is devastating. Gambit, last time they were in a situation like that, they saved. This time, no such thing. And it's rounds like this that really showcase this idea that Shiro, it feels like a lot of attention from Gambit's gone into him, gone into trying to get this guy to just attempt more rounds, right? He started to get a reputation as like James version 2.0. And we had this big discussion the other day about how for Gambit, I think they realized like, look, the teamwork's there, the synergy is here. Like we individually phenomenal players. The only thing that, you know, a Na'Vi has that we don't is a simple. And it feels like they're trying to throw Shiro into more opening fights, more clutches. And he's looking all the more confident for it. Now look at Lackey here. Aggro in top mid, and somehow Nafany is still ready for it.
Stutter step and dead. Should not have gotten away with that kill. Shiro going over the box. He's got smoke to play with, thrown in by his teammate. AWP does pick Hobbit. Crad trying to do his best, right? We've seen many a player run the second AWP on Entropiq. Lackey has been no stranger to it. It does depend on the map at times and the positions that are taken. Maybe a window boost, it would be a perfect way in. Nickelback with his eyes on right now. But that can't remain the same forever. They don't have any mid-info. Oh, he saw the cross. He knows there's someone here. Instead of fighting for it, he's going to give it up. Welcome Gambit into window. Let the AWP do the rest. Crad knew that Axel was trapped out under after the boost. There's no question about it. There's a light there in the window that Nickelback saw disappear for a moment, and that was enough info. The 2 shots. Oh, Crad gets spammed through. He knew that Nafany dropped with those fake fires, and Crad eats a nade down to 2 health. Nafany is going to backwalk into him. Nice shot from Crad. Follow up onto his Palace angle, and there's another for Crad. He's on for the ace. Oh, he can't get it. Shiro shuts it out, but will go no further. Elian's second AWP in this round, at least, will shut it out. And 5 rounds found for Entropiq after all.
But did you see that right? Shiro was still willing to give that round a go. Like, that was a 1v4. He's leaping out through ramp to try and get past the AWP in CT. These are little things that we never would have had out of Shiro. You know, if you look back like 4 or 5 months ago, this would not have been the case. That would have been an immediate save.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have even crossed his mind to go out through Palace there, or ramp rather. Elian in mid.
Oh!
His shot doesn't happen every day, but oh dear, Hobbit contact play won't check for Nickelback, so that's a freebie in response. But now they know you're here. That element of surprise is gone, and it's a new element, Fire, pushing him into the open. Exile and Nafany both get a kill apiece. Flash gets the AWP off the angle, and Gambit aren't even committing.
What a great move for Elian. He knows that they don't like to commit with these picks all the time, even though they have 2 up on A. And he's actually being faked out. Forest is still committed under. They've only heard one player B. It would have been easy for Elian to make the wrong call right now, but Forrester will hold his spot. The question is, does the bomb commit? Forrester, they don't know he's here. He came from CT spawn. They already got a kill on a lower player of Nickelback. And in fact, Nafany's coming back to join them. Forrester still doesn't know the Gambit are double Palace. He'll change position as well. A far better one, considering Nafany can no longer clear him out from short. Gambit are playing... Oh, he's seen one. Now he knows A. Max 1, if that. Forrest is going to run back, and they hear him.
No!
That's so unfortunate. It's not like Gambit even had to be sight. Forrester didn't need to move, but he did anyway, and that gave Gambit the way in for 9. Elian just trying to save, and we already know Nafany, he ain't about that.
I think it would have been so easy to underestimate your opponent there and assume that, you know, what's worked so many times before, falling back into one of these late B plays was going to work again. But you saw Nafany was always suspicious. He was kind of giving them credit that, like, no, I think they're going to be reading into this.
Nice shot.
I think they're going to be aware, and Elian doesn't want to part ways with this AWP. Looking good to get away with it at the very, very least. But that is your only consolation prize here. And AWP leaving the round with you, and it's going to have to be one of the main pieces now to make all the difference.
Yeah, I mean, Gambit are looking for double digits on the end of their T side, Harry, and this is, you know, CT side where Gambit often do their best work, so it's a little worrying right now for Entropiq. Just focused on saving in so many of these rounds. This double AWP has just been trying to survive, and Grande, he's gone for the shotgun here, a little broke money. As you said, the AWP has to do the bulk of the work if there is going to be work to be done. Elian gets boosted ladder instantly. He may have even hit that smoke. He lost 1 health, so is there a gap and window for Lackey to look through? Doesn't look like it. Gambit has just sat out top mid waiting. Early cap peek catches Hobbit fiddling with nades, and man up once again for Entropiq. Can they close off of this? Nafany just slipped the net, but Forrester saw him on the jump last second, and he gets the kill. AK down, but Forrester's not in a hurry, just in case there's more. He gets flashed back into apps by his teammate, and he has cleared that position. Not only getting his gun out of there, but keeping a 5-on-3 untraded. This is a round that Gambit have to go for, but how do they work their magic?
Watching Inter is going to make me vomit, man.
So many clears.
Over through shot, he's like checking everything. At 1,000 miles an hour. Shots getting fired off from Shiro in mid, but no one's going to peek. No one's going to give you an inch. Elian even re-smoking the apartments, and with so little time left, that's pretty devastating for this Gambit squad.
Done these short splits before with the bomb alone in apartments, but Entropiq have already started to lean towards B. That window player giving up middle. Oh, Forrester one-tapped Inters there. You could hear it come through. Shiro via shotgun can't wait forever. His teammate with a bomb is coming out of apps. This is a waste of time. He needs to help him get it out to the site. Grande is forced to move from this utility in B, but is there enough time? No. The round is gone. Shiro can't save, and he can't do anything about it but try and frag out. Nickelback tagged, and Entropiq just get to play with their food. Dinner is served, and it's the end of the half for Shiro. 12-4, a save against his will.
Yeah.
And 9-6 in favor of Gambit. They're happy, but they're not out of the woods yet.
No, it's something to go off of, though, isn't it, for Entropiq, right? It always feels a little bit better getting in that last round at the end of a half. You know that for these guys, they're used to operating with pretty slim margins. Last time these squads faced off, it was a 9-6 on the CT half. but 2 Entropiq. I think it's also worth I think it's worth mentioning that Gambit did once again elect to go for that T-side beginning, right?
Yeah, they have been doing that this event. And for good reason right now, with what we just saw out of them. Forrester gets the opener and Hobbit sees him start flying into A. They have their back turns and Lackey gives cover. 5 on 3, and again, Entropiq look to beat back into this game. That could have been a bomb denial. Instead, it's a backstab for Shiro. 2 kills, but the clock is now playing for Entropiq, and Lackey just swings Shiro. The confidence to do that is outstanding, and back on short, the bomb is not for this position. They're going to have to leave through ladder and window. Spotted is Nickelback. Forrester unknown right now, but Inter still pops a skull. This is a lot of time being wasted, and I don't know if this round is winnable. Inter gets that kit, but they've got to be quick.
Axel's going to try and keep this player trapped here. They just need to
sides.
deal with Lackey.
Oh
no, it's ugly!
I think they've got it.
Yeah, that's 10 on the board for Gambit. The kit on the bomb, mate. That is a blunder right there. Lackey plays it well in terms of changing position, in terms of keeping them guessing. They didn't know he was there. That's just a plain and simple whiff.
It's so late in the round that Entropiq aren't even thinking that that's going to happen. They are not even thinking Gambit are really going to go for it or win it if they will. And Lackey, who was Palace, who got a triple, drops CT, and he didn't even need to fire. He wouldn't have even been checked. But shoots too soon, and Gambit get in from what was a 3-on-5 despicable round. Shiro didn't even deny the plant. Missed window smoke, and things are getting stressful now for Entropiq. Problems presented. Nafany trapped in the wrong side of window. Ready with a smoke for a Molotov. Gonna have to give them the smoke that they asked for anyway, so he can escape. Better than getting naded or mollied, eh? Hobbit deep on ramp, and he's going to hear that scope as well of Elium back in top middle, but that's no surprise. Did they hear Forrester make steps himself? We'll have to see. And meanwhile, ramp getting retaken by Nickelback coming in through T-spawn, so Hobbit doesn't need to step any further forward. He has a nice, gnarly off angle that Nickelback is walking into. Nickelback still hits the headshot onto Hobbit. Shiro still close, and he's not ready for a second. There it is, bomb at his feet, and Forrester out of the A site, but Nafany's moving in to stop that collapse. The flash, oh my god, he spotted him. This is now very weird, it's very awkward. And Shiro's trapped in between 2 opponents, but Forrest is focused on killing the cover rather than getting the bomb back. He knows.
Oh, that's a nice peek, but an immediate re-swing, and Shiro even goes hunting for Elian, dropping him out of the round, leaving it all on the lone Crad.
Oh,
that's a dink and a half, man.
Got the bomb.
Crad is leaping around, he's jumping, and he will deal with Shiro.
He has time.
He's cutting it fine on this big old rotate. 15 seconds. He's going to have to be... That's just a save.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been...
Dinked initially,
I think the timing is like 15 seconds from T-spawn to B, but then, you know, all it takes is one, hit the wall once, don't hit the perfect jump into the plant on B, and obviously that's presuming Gambit don't even stop you on your way there. Axel would have. He'd walked up under. So it's a valiant save in what was a broken round there for Entropiq, with Shiro just tearing through them. 3 kills, plus that dink onto Crad. My, oh my.
I genuinely believe that, like, we're or at least Gambit are trying to move into a brand new chapter, which I think is super cool. I think we're the age of Shiro time being something that ever became a thing. I think it's done. Little B-lean for Entropiq, but the reason why, you know, like, you think about it, HLTV, you gotta love them. They released their top 20 players, right, earlier this year. Gambit, they came through with Shiro, Axel, and Hobbit ranked 4 through 6, right? That's phenomenal. Like, think about that for a moment. You know, don't get me wrong, Na'Vi, they had Simple in at number 1, Electronic at 7, Bit at 9, great debut year for the rookie. But I think when you look at that and you see that you have all these guys ranked so high up on that list, you realize that really the huge difference maker there is the guy sat at number 1. And the person on your team who's going to have to beat that guy, it's Shiro.
Well,
and he looks like a new man since coming into this year. I feel like this is genuinely a discussion that's been had within Gambit. He's so willing to fight in so many situations where Shiro from last year might have been a bit more passive, might have tried to do the right thing, Whereas now, I think he's really trying to figure out, where do my limits lie? What can I get away with? Simple doesn't always make the right plays, but he still will make a wrong play work, right?
Yeah, I mean, this ain't Na'Vi, but taking down some other plucky CIS gunners is a nice reassuring start to the year for Gambit. You know, get your trophies in early. Start strong. Gambit look like they want to do that right now. This is going to be a broken save for Entropiq with 3 weapons. Nickelback will even have to give his gun over to a man who can buy up armor, and this is only going to make the economy worse in the long term for Entropiq, but it will give them a chance to fight back against this full buy from Gambit in round 20. 12-6 though. And that question of fatigue gets brought up yet again for Entropiq, who have already longed out a long old BO3 series today, including a comeback, including a 40-minute tech problem. Gambit, they're fresh. They've been waiting for this match all evening, all afternoon, and now they are making it nice and quick and clean. Back to the A site for Entropiq, finally a full group up early. Hob is going to be aggressive. He's going to be a nuisance close on ramp, and he has that smoke ready on contact. Flash will do it. That will be enough reason to throw it in, and they just come running up behind it. Not through it, though. Forrester spotted. Hobbit won't live. Lovely wallbang. Nails him through the wood. And Entropiq, they're a team that love going through this ramp smoke. They have really good flashes to do so, so they will. Popping in after the close play is dead. Nafny swings out. He can't see a single player. They're right below him. 3 guys crossing from Tetris, waiting for a flash that comes in from the T side, and even though he dodges it, he will still die. The nade might cause problems. And the bomb going down. Can Shiro stop it in time? It won't be up to him. It's Axel to do it up from the catwalk. Crad gone, and now this thing is just going really awkward for Entropiq.
Oh man, suddenly like all the security you had that was afforded to you with util is gone, and you've got 50 seconds where you're hoping that Gambit overstepped the mark. Really a team known for doing that, but even then they are taking a couple of risks here. Swinging out through jungle only digs the hole deeper. And Elian, the longer he takes, the more effective this flank is from Axel, who the last place you saw him, mate, he was over on short. So Elian's got no idea that this flank is coming in. You think you know where everyone is. You think you know where Gambit are at. You couldn't be more wrong. And missed shot. Elian still doesn't react. And that's another round on the board for Gambit.
Yeah, I mean, going back to your point about how, you know, for Gambit, they have 3 players in that top 6, 4, 5, and 6, right? You got to remember, you know, players like these HLTV top player rankings, they've been going, you know, between the same 4 or 5 players for the last, you know, 4 or so years now. That was the debut year for Gambit for these guys in the top 20, and 3 of them are there. Obviously, Hobbit has been around in the sense of, you know, being an ex-major winner. 2017 was number 11 as well. But for these other guys, for these ex-youngsters, they've never even been in the talk. They've never been in contention. And now they come in their first year on that list, 4, 5, 6. It's quite a showing. It's quite a sight. And while it took years for Simple to get there, even had his first number 1 in 2018, well, if there were any team for the job, it would be more CIS prodigies. Can they keep it up, though? In this map so far, certainly seems that way. 13-6 and 1 gun for Lackey.
Yeah, you're in dire straits right now. Out through ramp, and that is the gun gone immediately.
Uh-oh.
They drop a smoke on it in a desperate attempt to just get the gun out of there and keep it in play. Nice for Crad, it at least has given them this AK to play around. Might just group and go for a B hit here. But, you know, in terms of the difficulty to read, in terms of the depth, you know, it's pretty bare bones, we'll say. I'm imagining Gambit might even look to pull extra players around. They don't see nor hear anything at ramp. They've got deep peaks there. And so, yeah, already in position at short is Axel. Shiro taking top mid. He'll be able to get here nice and quickly. Might never be needed. Not if Inters and Axal can hold the fort. They're certainly making a case for it. Oh, that is a meaty nade. And there's Axal to close, 14-6, and a typical go-to map for Entropiq, one that the last time we saw these squads face on ended 16-14 in Entropiq's favor. Now might go more dominantly against them than ever.
Yeah, I mean, that sets the series up for a 2-0, right? We already saw Gambit and the things they've been doing on Dust as of late. They've not been looking like they want to give that up or even let this series long out to Vertigo, where maybe you could make a case that things could be interesting. Why even go that far? Why even go the distance? Knock out your opponent before they even get in the ring. Gambit just 2 rounds away from doing that. Mid-default for Entropiq. They've got a couple of players out waiting for Crad in under. Shiro's going to molly it, even a tick. Yeah, that's perfect. You just get the info. You hear the Crad's out, and you know what Entropiq are up to. Still got this guy locked in the window right now, but Shiro's going to try and flash his escape. He won't do a thing, but neither will the shot. Missed from Elian. Barely get a chance to react there. Got to rely on the flick. Crad smoking top con. This is going to be an A play, though. Molly the wrong side. Shiro swapped it. And Crad's going to have to come in on this lurk while they hit the A site.
Hot heads. Oh, yeah, we'll get checked. There's never a question there. Shiro in jungle, they're running amok all over his bomb site, and he can't seem to find a way back in. Con being held by Crad. He's ready for this peak, but that doesn't make it any easier for him. And now they look to group, back in CT. Flash goes over and Shiro's blind. No support available from Inters. He was just as flashed. Had to duck out of there. Forrester playing a long wrap here, all the way back into middle to play around that bomb. And that move might secure Entropiq as 7th. Means that even if these site players end up falling... Oh, hang on, Axal's heard it. He's so aware.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah. Forrester knows he has room to do that, right? These retakes for Gambit are often so slow. These last-second retakes, these last-second round wins. We saw it in the pistol as well. Entropiq probably feeling like they'd already won the round before they had. But, yeah, good kill from Forrester. Any temptation left in the mind of Gambit... Nah, just forget it. Doesn't want to die. Any temptation left in the mind of Gambit was gone after Forrester cleared out that connector player. And finally, a T-side round rears its head. On the board are Entropiq, but can they stay there? Or is it just Gambit coming in with his shutdown? Shiro nearing 20. It's not been many rounds in this map at all. He's going to go AWP window. Late to the peak. Top mid smoke. Elian firing off with his. Top mid smoke doesn't give any gaps either. It's by design. It means that Entropiq can cross behind the boxes if they want. Hoping maybe that forces a Molotov out of Gambit, and it will. Axel throws it behind the boxes. Entropiq just dropping a late window smoke. Any ability to get any bit of utility out of Gambit is a win in their book. Entropiq regroup, leaning middle. Forrester lurking in the palace. And Crad coming in from under yet again. It's a typical mid-take here for Entropiq, and Gambit are locked out for now.
Ooh. Smoke up into top con. Will land eventually. And this is going to let Crad work this con control. Meanwhile, Lackey should be ready for Axal, and he is. Gets out at 1 point of health. 99 damage done his way. Another kill, this time from Nickelback. And suddenly Entropiq looking like they want to collapse upon this A-bomb site. Lackey's presence in ladder is annoying at the very, very least, right? Makes you so much more paranoid about moving in on this con retake. But no! Nafany dropping the bomb out in the open. Lackey will catch one man in rotation, but there's 10 seconds left. They need these kills. They need them now. And Elian will AWP him out. Shiro in CT doesn't miss a beat.
What?
And Gambit managed to pull that round back from the brink of defeat.
Shiro could have run away. He didn't even need to fight Harry. You talked about he's not the saving guy anymore. Well, he's saving Gambit. in that round. He could have just played the time, played the clock. There's no way you're expecting Shiros to still be fighting, but he doesn't want to even let you get close to the bomb plant, nor save that AWP. And what a round for Gambit. Despite Lackey's presence in ladder, he couldn't activate. He was on 1 health. He made kill rotates, but he won't go anywhere with it.
This is a Shiro who, like, when he saw he fell out of the top 3, like, wasn't in contention there, he took that personally. Like, this is a Shiro looking to really up his value.
It is the closer, or the attempt at it. Entropiq tried to last one more night here at B. Getting ready to just contact in. Couple of smokes. The arch smokes are down. Axel dinks one, but he is receiving the same amount of damage. Inters doesn't realize they've already dropped in, and Axel going through the smoke is overwhelmed by Crab with a double opener. There's still a gap though. Nafany will exploit. Can't stop the plant, but can light up that player with nades. It was a perfect dunk. Nickelback down half, and below, in fact, a missed shot from the Orb, and Nafany gets closer.
Oh, Forrest is on this lurk, but mate, Nafany is trading places with them. That one's free. Elian on the receiving end, and now he's going, well, why weren't they scared? Oh, there's another man, and he's ready for Nickelback. Only Forrester, they're on the bomb. You don't have time. Surely he's going to be just too late. Gambit steal it away, 16-7. Ludicrously dominant opening map. This was meant to be, you know, the hope in this series for Entropiq. This was meant to be their chance, where if they hit the ground running here, they could at least make it a 3-map series. That's what we